Hey guys, on today's video I'll be showing you guys how to make pick and drop braids with coils, and also I'll be giving you guys tips on how to achieve a long lasting coil pattern. So if this is the kind of tutorial you're looking to watch, just keep watching. We're going to dive into the video in a minute. I'm going to emphasize on how short my client hair is. The hair is very short, but I was able to create something fantastic for her. So if you hear the word pick and drop, what it means is that you are going to braid the hair halfway and then leave it and leave the rest, if that makes sense. So what you're basically doing is braid the hair from the root halfway, depends on what your client wants, and then you leave the rest of it on plait or on braid. Yeah, if that really makes sense, but that's what pick and drop basically means. So when you hear pick and drop braids with coils, it means after making the pick and drop, you are going to create a coils on the rest of the part that is not being braided, if that makes sense. So when you braid it halfway, the other halfway you're going to create coils on it to make it look more beautiful. So that's why it is called pick and drop braids with coils. That makes sense, right? So guys, we're really going to dive into the tutorial right now, and I know you guys are going to enjoy this tutorial. Seriously, it's very detailed, and I'm going to be giving you guys extra tips at the end of the video, so just try to watch to the end of the video. If you want a more detailed tutorial on how to braid a very short hair, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section so I can upload a more detailed tutorial on how to braid a short hair from the very root, or how to braid a short hair from the root. So if you are interested in seeing a detailed tutorial on how to braid a short hair from the root, please leave a comment in the comment section below, because by the time I was done with this pick and drop, my client was so happy. She actually tipped me. Yeah, she tipped me, because when she made a payment, I was like, that was not what you were supposed to pay, and she was like, thank you, you did so well. So the hair came out really beautiful, and it came out very neat. So what I like to do when braiding, I like to trim immediately after braiding. So what I do, I braid one session, I trim, I braid one session, I trim. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. So to make your braid to look very neat, you have to like trim while you braid. It make your braid stand out. So by the time I was brushing this hair, my client was already saying, change your look, don't you think we should leave it this way? And I was like, that was not the plan. You said we should add coils to it. That's why we're making pick and drop braids with coils. So not just pick and drop. Yeah. So we end up putting coils. So what I want to let you guys know on this session is to make sure that you brush the hair very well, detangle it very well, that you can easily run your hand through. You can see how I can easily run my hand through the braid. By the way, the extension I used on this pick and drop braids is Xpression attachment. You guys know how much I love Xpression attachment whenever I'm making anything that has coils. And now this is going to be very important. So while you are twisting, the portion of the hair that you are twisting is very important. It's as important as the way you twist the hair. So make sure your portion, if you want the coil pattern to be very tight, make sure the portion you're twisting is not too big. You can see the portion I have on my hand. By the time I pick the next one, I'm going to make you pay attention to how the size actually is, and you can see how tight the twist is. So make sure that the twisting is very tight, and make sure that the portion you're twisting is not too big. I think on this twist I picked like 8. I'm picking 8 strand of braid to twist. So I have 4 on my right hand and 4 on my left hand to twist together to make it 8. if that really makes sense. Please, if this explanation makes sense, drop a comment in the comment section below, because sometimes I just wonder if you guys are actually getting me. So if you think the explanation, you got the explanation very well, please leave a comment in the comment section. So just pay attention to how I am twisting it. You can see how tight it is. So like I said earlier on, I actually am twisting 8 strands of the braids. So 4 on my right and 4 on my left, and I twist downward. And while I'm twisting, if you pay attention to the way I twist it, you will notice that I'm squeezing the attachment while I'm twisting downward. Before I beat my tongue for you guys, so I'm twisting the extension while I'm twisting downward, if that makes sense. So just to make sure that the twist is very, very tight, because it's very important that the twist is tight if you want a very defined curl pattern on your pick and drop. You have to make sure that the twist is very tight. So you could see the portion that I've twisted already. You could see that the size of the twist is not too big and the twist is very tight. This is what you want to achieve. And right now, the next step is to dip the twist inside the hot water. And make sure, when I say hot water, I need to emphasize on that. Make sure that the water is super, super hot. Like when you're just bringing the water out of the kettle, put the twist right into the water and you will have a more defined curls. If the water is a little bit cold or getting a little bit cold and you're using it, seriously, you might not get a good curls, a more tighter curls. So make sure that the water is very hot. If you notice that the water is a little bit, it feels as if it's not as hot as the way you brought it out of the kettle, just turn it out and then refill it with a fresh hot water. So I need to emphasize on that. The water has to be super, super, super hot. Yes, it has to be very, very hot. So if you're watching to this extent, you think you like this tutorial, please don't hesitate to give the video a thumbs up, and also don't forget to drop a comment to support this channel. Seriously, when you drop a comment, YouTube just find a way of saying, oh, it means a lot of people like this video. Please drop a comment in the comment section. So by the time you've put in all the braids inside the water, this is how it's going to look. What I'm going to do next is to use the towel to drill the water off the braid. So if you have air dryer, this is going to be a plus for you. So what you can do, you can put the hair, the client's head on the dryer, dry it with a dryer or use a hand dryer. And if your client is not in haste and the hair is properly dried, you will have more defined coil pattern. So I like to put some oil in the scalp of my client just to make sure that it feels as if they're coming out from the salon. And also pay attention to the way I'm losing the twist. It's very, very important. If you don't do it right here, you're going to mess it up. So pay attention. After losing that 2 twists, and then I start picking it one after the other, I'm going to show you what you're going to see what I'm just talking about right now. You can see that the one my client is helping me to do, she almost messed it up and I had to tell her, please stop, don't worry, I'm going to do that. So this is very, very important. If not, you're going to mess the coils up. So pay attention to that one, the one I'm doing right now. You can see the one I'm taking it out one after the other. So the 8th braid, I'm making sure that I separate the 8th braid individually. I take it out one after the other. That was the one that my client was doing and she almost messed it up. Look at it, it's already getting tangled at the bottom, which we don't want that. So just pay attention to this very one that I'm doing right now. See the way I lose the 2 twists, and then I start picking the braids individually one after the other. With this way, you are not going to mess the coil pattern. It's going to be super, super tight and beautiful. So this is how you create coils on your pick and drop. So if you want to make pick and drop and you want to add coils to it, you can even add different coil pattern on your pick and drop. So this one is a twist pattern and it's beautiful. Look at how nice, how defined that coil pattern is. Even though my client was actually in a haste, we couldn't dry it, but then again it came out really beautiful because the portion I twisted was not too much and then the twist is very tight. That's why it came came out this nice. So what you do next is to put your styling mousse. So the first option is to put the styling mousse while the hair is still twisted together, and then if you are using a hair dryer, then you can use a hair dryer to dry it up. That is the easiest way to do it. But because my client is in haste to leave, that's the reason why I couldn't even dry it. But then again, add the styling mousse at this stage and it will still come out beautifully well. It's just that then you have to put more styling mousse for it to go around the coils on the braid. And this is how you basically make your coily pick and drop, or your pick and drop with coils on it, and it will come out really, really beautiful. Look at how nice and more defined that coil pattern is on the pick and drop. It's very, very beautiful. Thank you so much guys for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.